Please welcome the Human Therapeutic Cloning Group.
Good morning, guys. Today our group is going to be presenting our action plan for human therapeutic cloning. I'm Alexis, this is Caroline, Annabelle, Ben, Kennedy, and Austin. And so let's start.
So the beginning of research devoted to the science of therapeutic cloning began in 1885 when the first demonstration of artificial embryo twinning was conducted. Research began becoming more focused in 1984 when an animal was cloned using nuclear transfer. However, it was not until 1996 when an animal was created using somatic cell nuclear transplantation using cultured cells that it became a topic of interest in the medical world. However, controversy among the public has arisen due to the fact that an embryo is destroyed in the process of obtaining stem cells. Induced pluripotent stem cells were introduced in 2007, which ultimately eliminate this. Eliminate this research. In cloning animals and human tissues and organs, and has even been suggested for bringing back extinct species, a lot of which humans brought the end of. And it has also been proposed for as a potential cure for the devastating effects of neurological diseases such as ALS or Parkinson's disease. In addition to these benefits, it also takes away some of the negative aspects of other medical technology. Generally, the embryos are obtained from in vitro fertilization clinics. These embryos are either rejected by the mother or no longer wanted by the family. Rather than being thrown away, they are used to help lives and even save some.
So current events in human therapeutic cloning. What's going on right now? The current organization in the United States, the primary organization that regulates research into therapeutic cloning, is the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration of the National Institutes of Health. And everybody looking to research into the processes of therapeutic cloning must go through the FDA regulatory process and biotechnology, and falls within ethical and legal parameters. And this process was outlined in FDA's 1997 proposed approach to regulation of cellular and tissue-based products. And that's exactly what it sounds like. It's just how they propose to regulate these biomedical products, and that's what they do now with therapeutic cloning. And the National Bioethics Advisory Commission is the commission that existed at the time that this was enacted in 1997. And they were just the ones helping out with the ethical side of the regulation of these products, like using human embryos to derive stem cells. And that organization is now defunct. There is a newer organization, the Presidential Commission for the Study of Bioethical Issues, commissioned in 2009. And they're the ones that deal with new bioethical issues that may arise in advances that come in biomedicine, as well as older issues that are still persistent and cause problems, such as the use of human embryos, which is a lot of controversy. And there are also some organizations that influence, but do not directly regulate how the federal government regulates research. And a primary example of these organizations is the Biotechnology Industry Organization. And that's just a trade association of biotechnology companies that lobby the government and influence their policy making in biomedicine, because they're the ones directly dealing with the issues and they have a lot of money, so the government will listen to them. And when looking at the big issues in therapeutic cloning, such as controversy over the use of human embryos and the still underwhelmingly efficient processes used to derive stem cells, such as somatic cell nuclear transfer. These must be addressed through addressing the regulations, the organizations that regulate, and the organizations that influence the regulation of these topics and research into them.
20 to 30 people die every day from not receiving an organ donation. There are 123,000 people on the US waiting list alone who are waiting to get an organ donation, and of 2/3, those are gonna die before they ever receive one. So human therapeutic cloning has the power to give these people organs and tissues because we can create organs and tissues in a lab. And so the system is now, you sign up to be an organ donor and you inevitably die, and whatever salvageable organs you have are given to those who need them. It seems pretty good, but it isn't really time efficient. You know, these people are waiting to get organs that they need to live while theirs are basically failing them. So with human therapeutic cloning, again, you could create organs and tissues that they would need and get them to them very fast. The only problem is there are misconceptions about destruction to get rid of misconceptions and things like that and kind of show people how beneficial human therapeutic cloning could be and how many lives it could save. We also want to get more funding for more research.
Our action plan consists of two main parts, which is education and research. The first part of our plan, which is education, begins with the distribution of pamphlets to various medical establishments around the country. These pamphlets will contain information on the benefits of human therapeutic cloning and how it differs from regular cloning. Once delivered, these pamphlets will be handed out by doctors and nurses to adult patients. In addition to handing out pamphlets, educational commercials will be aired on public television. These commercials will contain information about organizations that help to regulate and oversee stem cell research, such as the FDA and BIO. To ensure that the correct audience is targeted, these commercials will be aired on news channels. It's important that we educate the public on this issue because one of the biggest issues associated with human therapeutic cloning today is a lack of public support. Without public support, it becomes difficult to have crucial legislation passed, and research progresses much slower. We intend to fund the second part of our plan, research, for 5 years. This research will focus on developing a cheaper, more efficient way to harvest stem cells. The money from the grant we obtain will be to a board of leaders, legal boundaries. It's important that we conduct this research because the harvesting of human stem cells is one of the biggest hindrances to stem cell research today. This is because only a few amount of stem cells can be harvested from each egg.
So the cost of the pamphlets that we're going to send to doctors, the cost to create them, send them out, and distribute them will cost $15,000. And then the commercial that they want to air is going to cost $266,000 to create and air it on a news channel. So in total, that'll be $281,000. But then when we fund the research, we want to give them around $460,000. But money.
Genetic or pathogenic. Currently in the United States alone, every 10 minutes someone is added to the waiting list of over 123,000 for an organ. And of those on the list, 21 die each day while only 79 are saved. By funding human therapeutic cloning research, we can reduce the number that die each day and increase the number that are saved by improving methods such as somatic cell nuclear transfer to improve their efficiency and reliability. Some general concerns are that stem cells come from human embryos. However, that is not entirely true, as stem cells can be induced to create induced pluripotent stem cells. And one of our key focuses is to educate the public on what human therapeutic cloning is in order to garner more support and to nix the misinformation about human therapeutic cloning. The support we gain will help alleviate some of the current restrictions on human therapeutic cloning, and will be able to spread more information about what human therapeutic cloning is to gather even more support. And this will teach the public about human therapeutic cloning.
So what is the status of research right now? Do they start with organs or part of tissues, or how do which organs are priority?
So you're asking what currently is possible through therapeutic cloning, the processes? Well, the process through which the nucleus is transferred to other cells and the success rate of these processes is not very high, but it is possible to create organs and tissues, any type of organ and tissue, using induced pluripotent stem cells or embryonic stem cells. And it's just through the transfer of the nucleus from the patient's cell to the donor cell. And that can be induced to differentiate and grow into any type of organ or tissue. I hope that answers your question.
You said it takes a while for like a donor to donate organ to somebody else. What's the difference between time of creating the organ instead of having somebody as a donor donate organs to the person that needs the organ?
Well, the biggest problem is that when you're waiting on a donation, it's a specific organ or tissue that you want, and you just have to wait. You know, it's luck really until somebody who is an organ donor, who died, who has the organ or tissue that you want that is still salvageable and is able to be used in your body. And but with therapeutic cloning, you can specifically create just that organ or tissue. And also on top of that, there's really no possibility for your body to reject it, because it's your exact DNA. And it's not really about time as much, because it's possible that you could get organ or tissue from a donor quicker than you could through cloning, but it just targets you specifically, and you know that you're going to get it in a certain amount of time. Yeah.
Okay, so I know when you get an organ from a living person or a living organ that comes instead of throwing it yourself, if you use therapeutic cloning and stuff, is it going to last longer in the body? Because if say someone got a heart transplant, it's only going to last a couple of years.
So I think I just turned this thing off. But when you get a organ that's grown from your own DNA, that's going to be good, because it's as if you have the one that your own body, when you're developing in the womb, made. So it's just transplanted and it fits right in.
And you're less likely to face the common complications that arise from when you get an organ transplantation from someone else.
That's going to have to do it, guys. Keep moving. Good questions?